For this simulation, I will be speaking from the perspective of Clara Barton, the president of the American Red Cross. The source that I'm pulling her opinions from is her autobiography. At no point does she mention fault for the flood, so I'm basing what I believe her opinion would be on the required reading and viewing materials from this week's module, especially the Johnstown flood documentary. On May 31st, I was reminded of the importance of being ever ready as the leader of the American Red Cross in the face of tragedy. When the news came in that 30,000 people had been displaced in Johnstown and the surrounding suburbs, we immediately began to mobilize. As some background, Johnstown sat on the junction of Stony Creek and the Little Conemaugh River. The people who resided here were used to seasonal flooding, and when the rain began, most didn't comprehend the brevity of the situation. 9 miles north, the South Fork Hunting Club sat on a dam nearly 70 feet high. Before the club moved in, the dam had been neglected and abandoned by the citizens of Johnstown, but the citizens of Johnstown understood the importance of its structure or lack thereof. On multiple occasions, the people had demanded the dam receive its necessary repairs, but nothing significant was ever performed. On the day before the dam broke, the city was already flooded 2 to 10 feet, but the rushing water from the north swept in well above 30 feet, taking out all infrastructure in its path. Some residents had moved their families to higher ground, but those that remained met an unexpected fate. In the wreckage, there were at least 5,000 confirmed deaths and $12 million in property damages. When I arrived with my team, we were met by General Hastings, who was very weary of our efforts, especially as they were led by myself, a woman. His attitude did change, though, when the first truckload of lumber arrived, addressed to the president of the Red Cross. Over time, thousands of people across the country mailed in monetary donations, provisions, and other supplies, and hundreds showed up to provide aid in person. Over the 5 months that we served in Johnstown, we directly aided 25,000 people and erected living accommodations, warehouses, and infirmary. Our relief fund of $1,600,000 was distributed across the town based on individual loss. As someone who's here in aid, it is not my place to cast blame on any specific person or group in response to this tragedy. The effect of this flood is wide-sweeping, and regardless of fault, everybody has banded together to pick up the pieces. I recognize that a lot more could have been done to prevent this. The architect who deemed the dam sturdy on paper, but in his head knew its faults, could have doubled down and insisted on repairs. The members at South Fork Hunting Club, who have all the money in the world, could have at the very least pooled funds together to preserve the picturesque land that they love so much. The people of Johnstown could have brought this to the attention of someone in a higher position of power, although that wasn't for lack of effort. Ultimately, the Red Cross will always come to help, and we are in no position to place blame.